Hello students, let us come to the next topic, trachea. Trachea is a non-collapsible wide tube forming the beginning of lower respiratory passage. It is kept patent because of the presence of these C-shaped cartilaginous rings in its wall. Cartilages are deficient posteriorly. This is posterior wall of the trachea, and here it is formed by trachealis muscle, and C-shaped cartilaginous rings only extend up to this area, and this deficient area is filled by trachealis muscle and fibrous tissue. And behind this there is presence of esophagus, which remain in collapsed condition and only expand during passage of food through it. So this posterior soft wall, this allows expansion of the esophagus during passage of food or during swallowing. Dimensions of trachea. Trachea is about 10 to 15 centimeter in length. Upper end of trachea lies at the lower border of cricoid cartilage. This is thyroid cartilage, this is cricoid cartilage, and the lower border of cricoid cartilage is the upper end of trachea, and lower end of trachea lies at the level of lower border of 6 thoracic vertebra in living subjects. Upper half of trachea lies in neck area, that is known as cervical part of trachea, and lower half lies in the mediastinum, that is the mediastinal part of the trachea. So here we are only concerned with the cervical part of trachea. Then diameter of trachea. The external diameter in case of male, it is about 2 centimeters, and it is smaller in case of females and is about 1.5 centimeters. Lumen is smaller in case of living persons as compared to cadaver. Lumen is about 3 millimeters at 1 year of age and increases at a rate of 1 millimeter every year and reaches its maximum of 12 millimeters at puberty. So here we will discuss about the cervical part of the trachea, as mediastinal part has already been discussed. Trachea begins at lower border of cricoid cartilage, which lies opposite to the level of lower border of C6 vertebra. So these are the cervical vertebrae which are present, and this level lies at the level of lower border of C6 cervical vertebra. Cervical part of trachea ends at inlet of thorax, which lies at the level of upper border of T1 vertebra. After beginning at the upper end, trachea runs downwards and slightly backwards in front of the esophagus. Esophagus is present just behind the trachea and in front of the vertebral column. So here we can see in this area a radicular structure, that is esophagus. It follows the curvature of the spine, cervical spine. It is having slight concavity in this area, so that is why trachea runs backwards, and then it enters into the thorax by passing through the inlet of the thorax in the median plane. In the neck, trachea is comparatively superficially present. Relations of trachea. First of all, anterior relations. Anteriorly, first structure is the isthmus of the thyroid gland, which is present anterior to upper part of the trachea. It is covering the second and third tracheal ring. So this is first tracheal ring, second, and behind that lies a third. Second and third tracheal rings are present behind isthmus portion of the thyroid gland. inferior thyroid veins which are entering into the isthmus of the thyroid gland. These are also present anterior to trachea. So this diagram helps to narrate the anterior relations of trachea. So this is trachea, this blue color structure, it is trachea, and behind it lies the esophagus. And in front there is presence of isthmus of thyroid gland, and on both sides lobes of the thyroid gland are present, and still anteriorly there is presence of certain muscles. Then skin and fascias of the D fascia, these are present. So in front of isthmus of the thyroid gland, there is presence of layer of pretracheal fascia, which also forms false capsule of the thyroid gland. So this green color structure covering the isthmus and lobes of the trachea, this is the pretracheal layer of the D fascia of the neck. Then sternohyoid muscle, sternothyroid muscle, and superior belly of omohyoid muscle, these are also present anterior to the trachea. Then more anteriorly there is presence of investing layer of deep cervical fascia that is covering the whole neck like a collar and also enclosing these muscles. Then more superficially comes the skin and superficial fascia of this area. Posterior relations of trachea. Trachea is related posteriorly to the esophagus and recurrent laryngeal nerve. Longus colli muscle, which is present on the anterolateral aspect of the vertebral column. It is also present posterior to trachea as well as esophagus. Lateral relations. On both sides of trachea, there is presence of right and left lobes of the thyroid gland. More laterally and posteriorly, there is presence of internal carotid artery within the carotid sheath. Blood supply of trachea. Trachea is supplied by branches from the inferior thyroid artery, which is present very much close to the trachea. So this artery supplies the lower part of thyroid gland as well as trachea. Inferior thyroid artery arises from thyrocervical trunk, which in turn is a branch of subclavian artery. Veins from the trachea drains into left brachiocephalic vein, which is formed by union of left internal jugular vein and left subclavian vein. Lymphatic drainage of cervical part of trachea. So this part of trachea is drained into pretracheal and paratracheal group of lymph nodes. Pretracheal lymph nodes are present anterior to the trachea, and paratracheal are present on both the sides of the trachea. Nerve supply. Trachea is supplied by sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Parasympathetic nerves are derived from the vagus nerve through recurrent laryngeal nerve. Parasympathetic nerves are sensory and secretomotor to the mucous membrane and motor to the trachealis muscle. Sympathetic nerves are derived from the cervical ganglion, which are vasomotor, means it controls the flow of blood to the trachea. Parasympathetic control the secretion of glands and also control the action of trachealis muscle. Applied anatomy related to trachea. Trachea may get compressed because of certain tumors or outgrowths from the surrounding structures, like posteriorly from esophagus, from lobes of the thyroid gland, aortic arch which is present, which also crosses in front of the trachea, pretracheal lymph nodes or retropharyngeal lymph nodes, and thymus gland. Compression of the trachea may lead to difficulty in respiration and also husky voice. Tracheostomy. Tracheostomy is an emergency operation which is done in cases of laryngeal obstruction like foreign body, diphtheria, carcinoma, etc. It is commonly done in the retrothyroid region after retracting the isthmus of thyroid gland. A tube is inserted into the trachea by making a hole in this area. Next comes to cervical part of esophagus. Esophagus is a muscular food passage present between trachea in front and vertebral column behind. Normally, esophagus remains collapsed, that is, its anterior wall and posterior wall, these remain in contact, but it expands or get dilated during the passage of food through it. So at that time, the bolus of food presses against the posterior muscular part of the trachea and then it passes through the esophagus. Esophagus is downward extension of pharynx and it begins at the level of lower border of cricoid cartilage in the same area where the beginning of trachea that lies. So this level, it lies at the level of lower border of body of 6 cervical vertebra. So its beginning lies in the neck area, that is the cervical part of the esophagus. Then it enters into the superior mediastinum, crosses through that superior mediastinum and then it enters into the posterior mediastinum and ends by opening into the cardiac end of the stomach in the abdomen. Its length is about 25 centimeters as a whole and the length of cervical part is only 5 to 6 centimeters. Esophagus is narrowest at its junction with the pharynx and here the luminal diameter is about 1.4 to 1.5 centimeters and otherwise at other places the diameter of the esophagus is less than 2 centimeters. Relations of cervical part of esophagus. Anteriorly there is presence of trachea and to right and left both sides there is presence of recurrent laryngeal nerve. This nerve is present in close relation to the trachea. Recurrent laryngeal nerves on both the sides, these are having different level of origin, these arising from the vagus nerve. On right side it arises at a higher level and turn upwards and come to lie on both the sides of the trachea as well as in front of the esophagus, and in left side it arises somewhat lower level from the vagus nerve, then turn upwards and come to lie anterior to esophagus and on the side of the trachea. Posterior relations. Posteriorly vertebral column is there, but between the esophagus and vertebral column there is presence of longus colli muscle. Longus colli is present on the anterolateral aspect of the vertebral column. This is longer muscle covering anterolateral part of vertebral bodies. On each side lobes of the thyroid gland are present and on left side alone thoracic duct is present. Blood supply of cervical part of esophagus. So blood supply to the cervical part of esophagus is same as that of the cervical part of trachea. So both these structures are supplied by branches of inferior thyroid artery which is arising from thyrocervical trunk, which ultimately arise from the subclavian artery. Venous drainage. Venous drainage of cervical part of esophagus is same as that of venous drainage of the cervical part of trachea because both are very much closely present structures. So venous blood of the esophagus, it is also drained by left brachiocephalic vein which also drains the cervical part of trachea. Lymphatic drainage. Lymph from the cervical part of the esophagus is drained by deep cervical group of lymph nodes. Esophagus is having 4 constrictions in its course produced by various structures. First constriction is produced by cricopharyngeus muscle, then arch of aorta, left bronchus, and then diaphragm. These constrictions should be taken into consideration while introducing an instrument, mainly endoscope, through the esophagus. Joints of cervical region. So the bones of cervical region, that is cervical vertebrae, we have already discussed about these bones in detail, and also the ligamentous structures present over these bones. So the joints which are formed between these typical cervical vertebrae, these are the typical cervical joints. These are formed between the lower 6 cervical vertebrae, C7 to C2 vertebra. Ligaments which support these joints are anterior longitudinal ligament passing over the anterior surface of vertebrae, posterior longitudinal ligament passing over the posterior surface of the vertebral bodies within the vertebral canal. Intertransverse ligaments connects the transverse processes of adjacent vertebrae. Interspinous ligaments connects the spines of adjacent vertebrae. Laminae of the adjacent vertebrae, these are united by ligamentum flava. It is made up of elastic fibers. Ligamentum nuchae connect all the spinous processes of the cervical vertebrae. Joint between superior and inferior articular processes of adjacent vertebrae are plain synovial joints. These are also known as zygapophyseal or facet joints. Joint between atlas, axis and occipital bone. Joint between atlas and occipital bone is known as atlanto-occipital joint, and between atlas and axis is known as atlanto-axial joint. These joints are designed to permit free movements of the head on the neck. Occipital bone and the axis bone both are connected with each other with the help of very strong ligaments, and in between these two bones, this atlas bone, it acts as a washer. The axis of movement between the atlas vertebra and the occipital bone is transverse axis, and it permits the nodding movement, that is flexion and extension at these joints. And the axis between the atlas and axis vertebra is vertical axis, and it permits the rotation of the head. First joint formed between the occipital bone and the first cervical vertebra, that is atlas, is the atlanto-occipital joint. This joint is of ellipsoid variety, and it is formed between the convex occipital condyles and superior articular facet of the atlas vertebra. Ligaments which support this joint are: first is fibrous capsule surrounds the joint, then anterior atlanto-occipital membrane is there, and on the back side, posterior side, there is presence of posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Movements that take place at this joint, the movements are: first is flexion and extension of the head, that is the nodding movement. So this movement takes place around a transverse axis which passes across this joint. And second movement is the slight lateral flexion or lateral bending, which is permitted around an antero-posterior axis. Second joint which is formed between the atlas vertebra and axis vertebra is known as atlanto-axial joint. So here we can see this is anterior arch of atlas, and this is posterior arch of atlas vertebra, and this is second, that is axis vertebra, and this is odontoid process. Atlanto-axial joints are 3 in number. A pair of joints is formed between the inferior articular facet of atlas bone and superior articular facet of the axis bone. So these are the lateral atlantoaxial joints, and one joint is formed between the dens, that is odontite process, and anterior arch of atlas vertebra. It is a pivot joint. Ligaments present at this joint. Lateral atlantoaxial joints are supported by capsular ligament all around. Then lateral part of anterior longitudinal ligament and also ligamentum flavum. Median atlantoaxial joint is supported by small and loose capsular ligament, and also it is supported by transverse ligament. Transverse ligament is attached on each side to the medial surface of the lateral mass of atlas. So this is transverse ligament attached on both sides to the lateral mass of the atlas vertebra. It also extends upwards and downwards and forms the cruciate ligament of atlas vertebra. Superiorly, the limb of cruciate ligament extends upwards up to the basiocciput, and inferiorly it extends downwards to the body of the axis vertebra. Movements at atlantoaxial joints. So movements at all the three atlantoaxial joints take place around a vertical axis. So these are the rotatory movements. Dens form a pivot around which atlas rotates and allow the rotatory movement of the head. Next are the ligaments connecting axis bone to the occipital bone. So first is membrana tectoria. Membrana tectoria is an upward extension of the posterior longitudinal ligament. It is present posterior to the transverse ligament. It is attached inferiorly to the posterior surface of body of axis vertebra, and superiorly it extends up to the basiocciput within the foramen magnum. Next ligament is cruciate ligament, which is present between the axis and basiocciput also, and also the transverse limb of this cruciate ligament is attached to the lateral mass of the atlas vertebra. Next is apical ligament. Apical ligament of dens extends from apex of the dens to the occipital bone. It is closely related to foramen magnum and present behind the attachment of cruciate ligament. Next is alar ligament. Alar ligaments are present on each side. These extends from upper part of the lateral surface of the dens to the medial surface of occipital condyles. These are strong ligaments which limit the rotation and flexion of the head. Applied anatomy related to cervical vertebrae. First of all, death in execution by hanging occur due to dislocation of the dens after rupture of transverse ligament of the dens, which then crushes the spinal cord and medulla and damages the vital centers present in the medulla oblongata. Degenerative changes or spondylitis may occur in the cervical spine, which leads to narrowing of the intervertebral foramen and pressure on the spinal nerves, which leads to pain along the area of distribution by the spinal nerve that is getting compressed. Cervical vertebrae may get fractured or dislocated by a fall on the head with acute flexion of the neck. Intervertebral disc prolapse may occur due to degenerative changes in the intervertebral discs. This causes compression of the spinal nerve which is arising from that level of the intervertebral foramina.